innings, then we'll tack on some runs and beat these guys on the July 4th.
All right, A's baseball is coming your way. We'll see you after the game. Let's throw it to Amelia Schimmel, our PA announcer.
At this time, fans, please rise, remove your caps, and join us for the singing of our national anthem. Before we honor our flag, we pause to celebrate the founding of our great nation. The Athletics and Major League Baseball are honored to celebrate America's 250th anniversary this summer. Tonight, we recognize the generations who built our country and the role our national pastime has played in bringing us together. Singing the national anthem tonight is Shohini. Take it away.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Shohini, beautifully done. Thank you.
Toyota's 4th of July sales event ends Monday. 3.99.
The king of the pond.
King of the pond.
Yeah.
He's out there somewhere.
For real.
You want this one?
Oh, yeah, nice.
All right.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
This 4th of July is brought to you by USAA. We are here in West Sacramento as the A's take on the Miami Marlins Saturday, July 4th. The stadium is packed, the fans are ready to go, and so are we. Game time weather tonight is brought to you by Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. And we've got a warm one here in the 916. 92 degrees, 14-mile-per-hour winds, 20% humidity, a comfortable game for fans to take in. Going to be a lot of fans on the berm and in the stands. We're up here in the booth alongside my broadcast partner, Dallas Braden. I'm Chris Carey, DB. Happy 4th of July. It's a happy day for the Athletics. 2 All-Stars, not only 2 All-Stars for the A's, 2 All-Star starters.
That's right. It's something the A's fans haven't seen in over 30 years, Chris. 2 guys donning the green and gold, will be starting in the Midsummer Classic. You can start with the work of Shea Langoliers this season, who is well on his way to back-to-back 30-plus homer seasons, and you combine that with the outstanding defense and the way he's handled the staff, no doubt he deserves to be an all-star. And how about the big Amish? Nicky Nukes has been doing absolute damage, not only at the plate, but he's brought the glove to work as well. Both guys very deserving of the all-star nods, and I can't wait to see them light off their own fireworks in Philly in just a matter of time.
On the other side, here is the Miami Marlins starting lineup, brought to you by your Sacramento area Chevrolet dealers. The Marlins won 12-5 last night. They will deploy this offense, starting with Hicks and Stowers. Then to the bottom of the order, Casey, Marcy, Joe Mack gets the start, and Javier Sanoja.
And it'll be veteran right-hander Aaron Savali on the bump. And you see him donning the patriotic jersey. It'll be the 15th start of the season for Aaron Savali. And Chris, we've talked so much about what this pitching staff has endured and gone through, not only from the starting rotation standpoint, but also from the bullpen standpoint. Right now, just looking for a deep outing from Aaron Savali. You got 5 from him last time. That was against the Halos. So see if you can't squeeze 5 or 6 out of him and then hand it over to a bullpen against what has been a very, very tough test in the Miami Marlins.
Here's how the A's will line up defensively, starting in the outfield. Zach Geloff, welcome back. He's in left field. Henry Bolte in center, and Lawrence Butler is in right. Kuroda, Grauer, and Kurtz on the corners. Williams and McNeil up the middle, and Jonah Heim behind the plate for Aaron Savali.
Welcome back. Geloff making a start out in left field. A's fans understand that Tyler Soderstrom, who we hope is continuing to heal up quickly, but it's going to be Zach Geloff in the outfield until then. Zach Geloff again reinstated. Ryan Servin up from AAA. Welcome, Serv. And to make room, Darell Hernandez and Joey Meneses both optioned back down to Las Vegas. So those are the moves that have helped shape the roster so far tonight.
Savali deals the first pitch. It is a strike. And we are underway at 6:41 local on America's 250th birthday. All just outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. You're going to see equipment all across the fields in red, white, and blue. You can see Jonah Heim's chest protector and shin guards, specially designed for today's game. As Hicks grounds it over, and sliding to his left was McNeil. It got underneath his glove, and Hicks has extended his hitting streak to 15 games.
The first baseman, number 20, Kyle Stowers.
Well, Liam Hicks just rolling this one over. Unfortunately, sneaks under the glove of Jeff McNeil, who does go into a slide, but you see the glove above the baseball. That ball maybe stayed down a touch. McNeil was expecting it to pop up. Unfortunately, unable to get to it. The Marlins start the ball game once again with a knock from Hicks.
So Kurtz will hold on. Hicks the DH, and Savali a curveball for strike 1. Stowers had an incredible game last night in his career against the Athletics. That has been the case as well. 429, 9 hits in 21 chances with 4 home runs, including a grand slam and 9 runs batted in. Umpiring crew tonight: Jordan Baker, the crew chief, will call balls and strikes. Junior Valentine at first, Austin Jones at second, and Rob Drake is at third. Stowers .345 over his last 15 games. Had a multi-homer affair last night. His first multi-home run game since May the 21st at home against Atlanta.
What was his second 4-hit ball game of the season last night? But it was some early fireworks from Stowers. That ball launched at a 45-degree angle, made it out of the yard no problem. And that one, well, it was touched. They were both hit hard. That one got out of here a little quicker. A couple of big swings from the left-hander, who has started to make himself very comfortable over there at first base.
So a walk.
Well, it's Jordan Baker behind the plate today on America's 250th. Was the home plate umpire for Game 7 of the World Series last year, an electric game. And at 6'7", as you know, Jordan Baker, tallest umpire in baseball. And he favors the top of the zone. You can understand, might be just a little closer to him than it is to everybody else. He's been overturned on just about half of the challenges that have come his way, 49.3%.
Otto Lopez, the National League's best hitter in terms of average, swings and misses on a cutter, 0-1. He's on a 4-game hit streak where 3 of his last 4 games have been multi-hit efforts. He was named an All-Star for the first time this year after an incredible first half of the season. But he's behind at 0-2. Curveball looked nice there from Savali.
You know, and I'll say this. Looks like Otto Lopez going to call his timeout, try to reset. But we understand that. I'm not sure that Otto Lopez feeling great. See him flexing that elbow. Might have felt a little twinge on the swing there.
Savali gets his sign. Now the 0-2 pitch coming home is taken off. The Marlins have had no problem scoring on their road trip. As mentioned before, they started in St. Louis where they took 2 of 3. Then they split a 4-game series in Colorado at 2 apiece. They won the first game against the A's 12-5 last night. Now Lopez gets it in the air to left. First chance for Geloff, moving on in the shade. He makes the catch for the first out. Geloff, his first career start in left field, and in his first chance deals with it well.
Well, did you expect anything less? This guy has showcased tremendous amounts of athleticism. It's nothing new to us at this point. And I think Zach Geloff has set that bar of expectation, and reasonably so, fairly high, just because of how we have seen him make adjustments all over the diamond.
Marcotte said of Geloff he was not going to need a rehab assignment down in AAA Las Vegas. They were confident that there was not enough time in between the injury and when he would come back to necessitate said rehab assignment. So he's been here working with the training staff that have worked tirelessly to get him back to finer form, and he's back. That right hand looks healed up as well.
Well, and I think you can still see just a mild amount of swelling, but something that you're able to power through. Got it.
Pickoff attempt. Talika had to move off the bag, but they still are able to get him. Was there a tag applied? Liam Hicks is saying something to the second base umpire here.
Well, I think Hicks was wondering whether or not he had the tag applied. I think what we'll see here is Alika, while trying to gather the baseball, still able to get a tag down. And I think it happened quickly. This will be a... Now look at that hand. And I think it's going to be about whether or not Alika Williams was able to get a tag down on that left hand before the right hand gets to the bag.
So Liam Hicks is off the field, though. So I guess they didn't want to take a look at it. So Liam Hicks is out. All right. That's one way to get the second out.
Well, and you watch the volley, it's a slow leg lift and then comes straight back down. Alika, great sell job if nothing else.
Xavier Edwards, who went 0 for 2 but did have 2 walks, a sacrifice fly, and 2 RBIs last night, is up batting in the 4th spot for Miami. Miami has scored 10 runs or more in 3 games on this road trip. Been a juggernaut offensively. And a big swing and miss on a 4-seamer away, 2-2.
The offense for the Marlins, no doubt, has They've been able to click on just about every cylinder, it feels like, here as of late. There's a reason they're the best team in baseball record-wise since June 1st. Looks like well, I think we're trying to make sure the count. Yeah, 1-2 is the count. Now Mark Kotze going to come out and talk to Jordan Baker and just be reassured here.
Is this about count, or is it the fact that he disengaged it?
It might be about the disengagements, it looks like. Because with the pickoff, it should reset now that the out's been recorded. And so that's what they just want to make sure of.
So brief pause in the action. We're back and ready. And the 2-2 pitch coming home from Savali. Down low, 3-2. That'll mean Stowers will get a head start off of first. Remember, in the first inning last night, Dallas, the A's surrendered 6 runs to these Marlins. 2 home runs were hit in the first inning off of Perkins. The payoff pitch is fly to right center. Bolte moving on, and he will make the catch. Scoreless first for Savali. And the A's bats will come up next. Listen! Sacramento area Chevrolet dealers. It's Kurtz and Geloff, then Lawrence Butler in the third spot. Again, Jonah Heim cleans up, Carlos Cortez, then Bolte, Kuroda, Grauer, McNeil, and Williams to follow.
Pretty tough right-hander on the mound for the Marlins this evening, and that is Sandy Alcantara. 9-4 on the season, 4.20 ERA. I think he's probably a lot better than what those numbers show, and I think the Marlins feel that way as well, because this is a man, Chris, who we have seen at times just be utterly dominant and almost unhittable.
Look at this.
That's right.
Nick Kurtz, American League All-Star starter at first base in Philadelphia. Highest ranked player on the players ballot. He'll fight this one off foul. And a nice play in the dugout by Lawrence Butler. So we had high expectations for Kurtz. And he has certainly matched those expectations with excellent play offensively and defensively. As the 0-2 is down low.
Well, as we know, Langoliers and Kurtz, both not only all-stars, but all-star starters. We talked about it in the open. First time in over 30 years that 2 athletics or more will start the all-star game.
Check swing, did he go? Yes, he did. Alcantara strikes out Kurtz. Defense for the Marlins stacks up like this on the 4th of July. Conine in left, Marcy in center, Casey in right. The Gold Glover Javier Sanoa at third. Otto Lopez and Xavier Edwards up the middle. Kyle Stowers at first again. And Joe Mack, the elite defensive catcher, behind the plate for the former Cy Young Award winner Sandy Alcantara. Clayton McCullough in his second season. Really good start this year. This is an at-bat we've been waiting for since about the 3rd inning of June the 23rd, when Zach Geloff exited the game in San Francisco.
Well, it's good to see him back, and again, we understand that Zach has meant so much to this club for different reasons. What he's brought to the table defensively, the run that he was on at the plate.
Swing and a high fly ball to right. Casey going back, and he dropped it. Geloff into second base, standing up. That was a tough play in the sun for Casey. We'll see how this one is scored. It is a double for Geloff. Welcome back into the fold, picking up right where he left off.
Yeah, hit it hard too. It's not like this ball was just kind of soft served out there to right. This ball barreled up, and even with the sun that you have to contend with if you're Casey, see him close the glove just a hair early. Geloff into second with a double here. Now the Athletics have an opportunity, Chris, to get themselves on the scoreboard first.
Butler had a nice night offensively last night. 400 average in the first inning, and he has Geloff on second base. You remember for Geloff, you thought the injury was a lot more extreme than it ended up being. It was a right hand contusion after it was all said and done. You thought maybe there were lacerations on the hand after Matt Chapman stepped directly on his right throwing hand.
We're just, I mean, from the start of the incident, my mind went to a very gruesome place knowing that Chappie had dug that spike into the hand, and you see Geloff immediately remove the hand. I mean, the reaction from Matt Chapman, I think, tells the whole story. Anytime two competitors lock up in a spot like that, and you see the reaction of one, man, it felt like it was a lot worse in the moment. So glad it wasn't.
2 balls and 2 strikes for Butler. And he sidesteps that pitch. 3-2. Butler had 2 walks last night in a single. Really professional at bats. A lot to be proud of as they've seemed to get better and better with time. Speaking of time, it's almost Heim time in the first inning. 3-2. Off the plate, another walk. How about it, Lawrence Butler? First and second, just 1 out, and up comes the switch hitting catcher, Jonah Heim.
Well, Law was 1 for 3 last night with 2 walks to his credit. Walks here in his first at bat, and I'll continue to sing the praise of his discipline, knowing that it's been a scramble at times for Lawrence, but when you start to see him separate balls from strikes with the consistency he is right now, you know good things are continuing to trend. Sandy's starting to at bat here with Heimov with that sinker. He's got a deep arsenal. Sinker, changeup, 4-seam fastball, cut fastball, so he's got 3 different fastballs. So we always like to highlight. He's got that sweeping slider, a traditional slider, the gyro one. He's got a curveball as well. So when you think about it, Chris, this guy's got 3 different fastballs, 3 different breaking balls, as well as the changeup. That's a deep 7-pitch mix.
Fastball used well over 50% of the time between those 3 different variations. 0-2, a swing and a miss. Got away from Mack, but no further advance from either runners.
That is a nasty changeup. Just clips off the thumb there of Mack. Sandy, I mean, Sandy coming off a rough start in Colorado. Hands down the worst start of his season. 5 2/3. Gave up 5 earned runs. Walked 5 as well, just season high. Again, this 6th start of the season for the right-hander. Excuse me, 19th start.
Carlos behind at 0-2. He had a nice night at the office. A multi-hit effort, 2 for 4 last night. That was his first multi-hit game since June the 6th.
Yes.
Nearly a month ago, which is a positive sign for the A's that are needing some more production offensively with all the injuries that the team has suffered. 0-2, slapped foul into the sweets.
Sandy setting records. Strikeout 1,002. That's a franchise record for the Fish. Fans giving them the deserved acknowledgement.
Check swing called out on strikes at the bottom of the zone. That'll end the inning. Alcantara strikes out the side. No score. A's fans win the ultimate Vegas getaway at the end of every A's homestand during the 2026 season. That's brought to you by Circa Resort and Casino. Well, that river has had a lot of action here today on the 4th of July. No score, top of the second inning. Stars and stripes everywhere. Some green and gold as well. You love to see it. And I know this is one of your favorite holidays, Dallas. Grilling out, burgers, hot dogs, maybe some lemonade thrown in there. I mean, this is the full package.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. Eagle perched up, got a great seat for the ball game. Well, as you know, our crew who does a phenomenal job. Look, a crew that eats together and grills together performs well together, and that's exactly what we were treated to. Mike Bird cooking on the ones and twos before he got to cooking on the ones and twos during the ball game.
You kept it fairly healthy. You had a burger, but a lot of strawberries, some watermelon.
Ton of strawberries, cherries. The watermelon was great.
Popped down a play foul. Myself, I had a burger and more black and white cookies than I'd like to admit.
I mean, look at the selections.
Is that short rib on there too?
Yep. Yeah, you got ribs, you got chorizo, you got various types of sausage, hot dogs, burgers. At one point in time, I think Tully was slaying shrimp on the Barbie as Savali sits Conine down on strikes. Surf and turf here in West Sac? Sure. Big curveball from Savali. And I can't get the barrel to it.
Dallas before the game, lots of, like you said, burgers, sausage. Hope is after the game there's some grilled fish for the Athletics.
I like where your head's at.
Owen Casey, who homered in the 9th last night, is up, adding 357 over his last 15. Seems like every Marlin has swung a hot stick recently. He'll tomahawk that to right. It will get down foul. Just foul.
It's like Casey was looking in, seeing if they wanted to take a look at it. They're not going to. I mean, there's not a ton of foul territory down there, so I mean, it's going to be close if it does indeed stay in the ballpark.
Savali's 1-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Got him with 93 on the sinker. Revved it up a bit there, Dallas. 2 away.
Yeah, step on it. Able to beat Casey to a spot. I mean, that's a great pitch from Aaron Savali, and it's a pitch that starts in off the plate, does have life back towards the corner. Never quite made it back towards the corner of the plate, but Casey, seeing the arm side movement, thought he was going to be able to get to it, just couldn't.
Jacob Marcy also provided a homer in the Marlins' 12-run effort last night. That was in the 6-run first inning. Marlins had 5 home runs in that game, including 2 from Stowers, 1 from Marcy. Casey had 1. And so did Heriberto Hernandez, who will start the game tonight on the bench.
Well, everything that we had learned about the Marlins, you do all the homework coming into a new series. Obviously, you're keeping up with the game as a whole. And everybody's singing the praises of the Miami Marlins, and for good reason. And you saw last night. I mean, just look at some of the numbers as well, but you've got guys in the middle of their infield who are swinging the bat well, playing good defense. There's guys that are throwing the ball well. And I mean, the way that you saw Stowers hit last night, man.
This is popped up, shallow left. In comes Geloff, out goes Alika. It's bobbled by Alika and caught by Geloff. How about that?
Teamwork makes the dream work. Alika, I got it. I got it. You know what? I don't got it. You got it. We got it. To Geloff. Nice little 1-2. You'll take it. That's
hit hard. Nice play by Stowers. Getting really comfortable over there at first. One pitch and one out. How do you score this one, Dallas?
6-7? 6-7? I think that's right. I can't believe I just did that. I'd like to apologize to all of you at home. And I'd also like to apologize. I misspoke back in that first inning against Sandy Alcantara and said that his last outing against the Rockies was his worst outing of the season. He's had a few bumpy ones, and that indeed was not the worst in terms of earned runs allowed. Gave up an 8 spot. Go back to his outing against Toronto. Got through 5 2/3, but it was 8 earned runs. And he was beat up in the game prior to that as well against the Braves. 6 runs. Chris, he's had 4 outings of 6 earned runs or more that he's allowed. But that's why I kind of said I think despite some of the numbers, he's pitched well this season. See that list of punch-out leaders.
2-1 breaking ball hammered into left center. Joshua Kuroda-Grauer stayed on it and has a 1-out single. Another hit for JKG.
Well, it's that sweeping slider that just sits up top. You know, these pitches, and these pitches meaning these sliders, these sweepers, much more effective, not only when they're down, but obviously further out. Forces a hitter to have to really kind of go down, keep their head down on the baseball as opposed to seeing it up. They can see the entirety of the ball. Thinking back to last night, Jeff McNeil. A's just trying to figure out a way to generate some offense, get themselves in the ball game. And McNeil with a double up the alley that would clear the bases.
He'll ground this to first. Stowers has one play. He went down to a knee to corral that baseball. Maybe looked harder off the bat than it actually was, but Kuroda-Grauer breaking on contact gets into second base. So he's in scoring position, and up comes Alika. Alika's on a 5-game hitting streak. Seeing it well right now. First pitch, chopper to third, giving ground Sanoha. Loads up, throws to first, and that will retire the side. Through 2 innings of play, it's the Marlins nothing and the A's nothing.
Don't miss out following every Sunday day game. Youngsters ages 14 and under are invited to the field to run the bases just like the pros. Create a memorable Sunday for the whole family. You can secure your tickets for any Sunday home game and stick around for the post-game excitement. We're going to have some post-game excitement tonight. That is for certain. Fireworks will be in full effect.
It's Joe Mack up with no score. Marlins catcher came in as a defensive replacement last night for Liam Hicks after the Marlins scored 12 runs. That curveball has looked nice today, Dallas.
Well, it's got some good finish to it right now. And the fact that we haven't seen it elevated up in the strike zone, always a good sign.
Back an upright stance, and he lifts this high in the air to right. Butler moving back, and this one is gonna go. Mac's 7th home run of the season opens up the scoring. 1-0. Looked kind of like Stowers' first home run last night.
Just as soon as we started talking about pitches elevated in the zone, this is an elevated fastball right at the top of the strike zone, but Mac able to attack.
Tell you what, it is bright out in right field for Butler and the fans on the berm. Foul back near us.
Well, we saw it last night on a ball later in the game that Henry Bolte tracked down out in center field, where he lost track of it for just a brief moment. But you can see, I mean, that sun just grilling the folks on the berm right now.
No, it's a great place to get a tan, though, Dallas. Middle of the summer, and it is pretty much entirely full on the berm, as we've seen many times here at this ballpark. Another great crowd on hand. Not surprising considering 4th of July and the way this A's team has played this year. A lot of fun games here in West Sac. In the dirt, blocked by Heim, 2-2.
Well, I mean, no doubt it's a fun roster to watch. But I think you combine that with where they're at in the division, understandably so. It's tight and maybe not for all the right reasons, but still very competitive.
2-2 on the ground to third on a couple of hops. Loading up, throwing to first is Kuroda Grauer, and one is away.
And I think that's something that fans take into account, right? You want to come to the ball game, you want to see a good game, you want to see your favorite player, but you also want to go see a ball game that has implications attached to it. How about Kuroda Grauer? Snag that short hop, a couple of gather steps, and it's a done deal.
Liam Hicks had a single his first time up, now up again in the 3rd inning, taking a first pitch curveball for a strike, 0-1. On the ground, deep in the hole at short, diving attempt from Alika, and it will get into left. Another hit for Liam Hicks. He's 2 for 2. Much like the A's, these Marlins can hit the baseball.
Well, and Hicks, I mean, it just feels like everything is finding a hole for Liam Hicks these days.
First Savali, hoping for a better start tonight, has lost the last 3 starts he's pitched in since coming off of the 15-day IL with right shoulder tendonitis. Overall, he's lost his last 4. Speaking of those last 4, as we mentioned, 0-4, a 10.13 ERA. Opponents hitting .390 against him. But it doesn't stop there. Here at home, entering play tonight, opponents hitting .367 against Aaron Savali. Another good stop from Heim.
When I think, you know, one thing you take note of over those last 4 innings, or 4 starts, excuse me, just one of them did he get to a 5th inning. Now he completed 5 innings, and that was in his last start.
Big cut. Came up empty, 1-2.
You know, even in the start against San Francisco, he got through 4. just a couple earned runs, but 4 innings. And so when you think about being able to chisel away at your ERA, if that's something that you're concerned with, you know, and I know there's other things that you can point to kind of peel back layers and determine the success that a guy's having outside of just the very basic earned run average.
1-2 breaking ball swung on and missed. Savali gets the second out, his 3rd strikeout of the evening.
Well, this curveball put in a perfect spot. I mean, it's over the plate, so it looks hittable, but it's down and out of the reach of Stowers. Big wave and a miss.
So it's Otto Lopez now, who flew out softly to left. And a first pitch cutter for a strike, 0-1.
Well, and that matters to Aaron Savali. It matters to everybody, but I think especially when you're someone who's not rolling out there with a big engine in terms of high velocity, high octane offerings. 0-1, so much better than 1-0.
That one's driven to left. Geloff on the move. He looks up, and it is gone. Another homer this inning for the Marlins. Now 3-0 Miami after Lopez's 8th of the season. He extends his hitting streak to 5 games with that 2-run shot.
And this ball just snuck out. I mean, look, Lopez found a way to get the barrel to it. So not taking anything away from Otto Lopez, but man, you want to talk about just eking out. See Lopez in the Midsummer Classic. Deservedly so. Quick 0-2 here to Edwards. I'd like to see Savali just continuing to attack, even though he's giving up a couple long balls here this inning. I think when guys start to nibble after some damage, that's when you really start to see the struggle. You really start to see extended at bats. You're falling behind.
Oh, 2 weakly grounded to first. Kurtz flips to the covering Savali. It's a bang play, but Savali got there in time. Marlins hit 2 home runs and now lead 3-0 with the top of the A's order coming up. 3rd inning, top of the order coming up for the A's, and the man coming up to the plate has been getting it done, presented by the Home Depot. One of 3 A's to have 20+ home runs in each of their first 2 major league seasons. It's Kurtz in 25 and 26. Yoenis Cespedes in 2012 and 13. Got to go all the way back to 1933 and 1934 with Bob Johnson. And it's Kurtz up again, taking strike 1 at the letters. And Kurtz's 20th home run of the season was not a cheapie.
Oh no.
Projected 457 over the batter's eye.
Yeah, he got every bit of this one. And this is what happens when you let the big fella get extended. Loud noise ensues.
Bobby Crosby was right. That was hammered. Kurtz going for the fences again, missing on 98, 1 and 2.
Well, and we've seen Kurtzy just absolutely melt baseballs before. And I think it's funny when you watch guys come back and they have that sort of reaction, that sort of look on their face, because it just, they know when they get them, but you can almost tell that those really feel good off the barrel when they come in and they've got a smile on their face.
Just an incredible season he's having, and he gets to celebrate his first All-Star game in a place very familiar to him. Grew up a Philadelphia Phillies fan, now will go to Citizens Bank Park as he cuts on and misses there for the first out. Kurtz had this to say about the opportunity.
Being an All-Star is always something that you dream about doing. Being in a group of some of the best players in the league is a really cool group to be in. For me especially, having it be in Philly is pretty special. It's kind of a full circle moment for me, and being able to be my first All-Star game appearance being in the hometown is pretty special.
It is indeed special. Geloff right above us. That's got to be the closest, other than the one into the suite next to us.
You know, short of jumping out of this booth, I think you might be right. I think you might be right. That might have been the best shot we had.
0-1. Now Geloff tags it back foul again. Well, his first at-bat back coming off the injured list. Hit a double to right field. It clipped off of Casey's glove moving back. And hopefully he's starting a new hitting streak.
Well, you said it. Picking up right where he left off.
Oh. And now Geloff gets hit. Oh man, now he's hit the deck. That was a 91-mile-per-hour changeup in, and that has to not feel good.
Well, I tell you, if this was a fastball, it would have hurt even more. I mean, still at 91, it's a changeup, but look at where he wears it. I mean, that is. Oh. Take a listen. This tells you all you need to know. Ow.
Butler takes strike one. He walked in the first inning after Geloff's double. Now Geloff's speed on first. He is a guy who can take an extra base, but not sure if they will test Joe Mack this early in the game. A catcher that we've heard a lot about defensively that welcomes runners going on him.
You gotta love the confidence.
That's a really good take by Lawrence. About a month ago, he's swinging at that pitch.
Well, every take that we have seen from Lawrence has been balanced. He hasn't, found himself so far out front.
And he's going to use an ABS challenge here. ABS is powered by T-Mobile. And it's the little victories, right?
Well, I think at times we've seen Lawrence maybe caught in between. Not quite sure, but again, I think that's just more insight. Lets you know just how good he's seeing the baseball right now.
3-1. He let it fly and missed on a fastball. 3-2. He's been really good on challenges this year. An impressive group, not just on the offensive side, but the defensive side as well. You can see only the Twins and Reds have more successful ABS challenges than the A's. Geloff dives back in safely. Marlins also pretty good at 114 successful challenges this year. Three-2, Geloff going. Butler swinging and fouling it away.
Well, I think when it all adds up at the end of the year, you'll be able to go back and take a look at the challenges and what they led to. And I think that ultimately will be the gauge of how successful they were.
3-2, Geloff going again. Bounced foul. Geloff getting his cardio in. Probably feels like, you know, I had essentially my rehab assignment here in West Sac. Getting put through my paces, making sure I was ready to be cleared for not only baseball activity, but to take the field again. And now he's doing it all over again on the base paths. As Butler continues to fight, one of the National League's best veteran arms.
Let's see if those two attempts.
3-2, swing and a miss. Geloff stayed home, 2 are away.
And what I was going to say is see if those two attempts by Lawrence Butler a fastball. Because after a guy takes off like that a couple times, if you're the pitcher, you say to yourself, you know what, let's see if I can step on the gas, get one past the hitter, and maybe even get a little strike him out, throw him out, should the runner decide to take off again. Geloff stayed home this time.
Heim weakly grounds it to first. Alcantara covers, and that will retire the side. 3-0 Marlins through 3.
List of 2028 tickets at our future new ballpark. You'll get early access to new products such as our recently unveiled dugout clubs featuring ultra close baseline seating and an elevated game day experience you're not going to want to miss. Secure your spot today at athletics.com/Vegas.
So top of the 4th inning, Marlins lead 3-0. Conine, Casey, and Marcy. Check swing foul, 1-1. Savali gave up 3 runs in the 3rd inning off of 3 hits, including 2 home runs. One from Joe Mack to lead off the inning, then a 2-run home run later by Otto Lopez. That puts the score where we are now, 3-0. That pitch doesn't go, 2-1. Now Heim's going to use an ABS challenge here.
Another one of those borderline pitches.
Call confirmed. Athletics have 1 left.
That's really close.
It's tough. It really is. You feel like it's so close. I mean, less than a 1/10 of an inch off.
Leadoff walk.
That's what you're trying to avoid, is having to force your pitcher to come into the strike zone with something very hittable, and instead he's got to make a decision. And I think what we understand about Savali, he's not somebody who wants to give in. Conine able to stay patient there, lay off a ball down and out of the zone, and the Marlins with another leadoff runner.
There's strike 1 to Casey. Well, Savali last started against Miami on June the 27th of 2024 with Milwaukee. And it was in Milwaukee. He gave up 2 earned runs off of 5 1/3 innings of work. Struck out 3. Did not walk anybody. Did give up 7 hits. Oh, 2, wave and a miss. Curveball spins around Casey. For a 2nd time, it's Savali's 4th strikeout.
Well, Casey couldn't get to the fastball the first time around here. Savali able to just slow him down and change levels with a really good curveball. You see how far out in front Casey was and how much he missed that curveball by.
Foul back. 0-1. Jacob Marcy flew out into a strange 6-7 putout. It's a fly ball into shallow left. Out went Alika, and in came Geloff. The last second, Geloff put on the brakes and the ball plopped out of Alika's glove, and Geloff was able to be right there to make the catch for what was the final out of a 1-2-3 second inning for Savali.
Yeah, not often you write 6-7 down in your scorebook. That's what you call being in the right place at just the right time.
1-1 off the plate.
Here's what you're talking about. Ball up in a no man's land. Alika got it and then handed it off to Zach Geloff. And you can see Kuroda Grauer was there in the event that ball may have ejected the other way.
The only way that could have gotten crazier is if Geloff plopped it and it landed in Kuroda Grauer's glove. A 6-7-5. Don't know if we would ever see something like that again. Baseball, I guess you never know. You see something new every day.
Well, not a bad hand if you're playing 3-card poker.
Very true. Two balls and 2 strikes. Called strike 3 at the top of the zone. Might have gotten a gift there. Marcy didn't like it. He's down on strikes. That's the 5th strikeout for Aaron Savali.
Yeah, he opted not to challenge. Stretched the zone here elevation wise. Again, what did he tell you that Jordan Baker likes the top of the strike zone? Marcy didn't challenge. Probably would have had an argument there.
We were talking about it pregame, is the catcher's ability to blur those lines with those only 2 ABS challenges for each team.
Well, things would look very different, I think, from the catching position if you went to a fully automated strike zone, because now the desire to blur the zone would really be a moot point because the computer's going to take care of it, right? I mean, you could. You just all you got to do is basically just knock it down. Can you slow it down back there? If you can do that, we can put you in some shin guards and a chest protector and call it a day. That's kind of what it feels like. Speaking of backstops, well, he caught this one out front. Joe Mack with a jack. You know, and it's unfortunate that I think could be the case should we ever get there, a fully automated zone, because the craft of catching from a receiving perspective, blocking perspective, I mean, those things they're some of the funner mechanics, and really it's poetry in motion when you watch a guy back there who can receive the baseball softly, is able to steer balls back towards home plate, blocking them, keeping them in front.
2-2 fouled away.
Guys that can control the running game. I mean, it is an elite skill set to have, and when you watch it unfold and you have a good catcher back there who can do all of those things, that type of presence is invaluable.
Savali's 2-2 pitch. Tipped, and Heim hangs on to it. The mask flies off, and that will end the inning. 3-0 Marlins. Now it's time for USAA's salute to service. A's Baseball is brought to you by the injury attorneys at Ashton & Price, Northern California's injury law firm. Happy 4th of July, everybody. 250 great years for the United States of America. We get to take in a beautiful evening at the ballpark where the Marlins lead 3-0. The A's hoping to change that in the bottom of the 4th inning. Alongside Dallas Braden, Chris Carey, our producer Delaire Lewis, our director Mike Bird. So happy you've joined us with the rest of our wonderful NBC Sports California crew, giving you all the sights and sounds of 4th of July at the ballpark. Cortez struck out looking back in the first inning, and now he'll line that into left center. A base hit. Moving over to get it, Marcy. Cortez will settle for the single. A leadoff hit and a good start for the A's offense.
Well, you love to see that. He's able to get a leadoff man on here for the first time tonight. Cortez just staying on the pitch, down and away, and that is something that we saw Carlos Cortez do well and do a lot of when he was the hottest player on planet Earth. That's drive balls the other way.
Bolte grounded out to the first baseman Stowers, who made a nice play. Now he's up again, right side open, and Henry weakly grounds it to short. Charging is Lopez. Gloves goes to second, and a nice play by Otto Lopez. Knew he probably didn't have a chance at first, so goes to second to get the lead runner.
And he may have surprised Xavier Edwards just a bit. But with a great speed of Bolte, you had to make a decision and make it quickly. And Lopez, I think, did catch his double play partner just a bit by surprise. I think you could see Xavier Edwards kind of take a peek and look over just to see where Bolte was at that time, and I think realizing, yeah, he probably did not have a chance there.
0-1 to Kuroda Grauer, who got a breaking ball in the second inning, and he drove it into left center field. Now a chopper up the middle, flipping to second, and now Edwards on to first, and a 6-4-3 double play ends the A's threat in the fourth. Miami 3, green and gold, zilch. So reliable, it never gets caught looking. Xfinity Internet keeps you in the game at one price for 5 years and allows you to get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity.
Imagine that.
3-0 Marlins, top 5. Sanoja, Hicks, and Stowers against Savali. Sanoja shows bunt. Crashing in was Kuroda Grauer. He was playing back. Pitch was inside for a ball, 1-0. Javier Sanoja entering play tonight, 545 over his last 7, 405 over his last 15.
Well, I think for the role that Sanoja is playing, a key contributor, you know that he's a guy who can spell some fellas, get you a breather here and there, a guy who can move around a bit.
That was a helpful strike for the A's as Sevy waving the flag. Tell you what, if Sevy was healthy to make the start tonight, I can't even imagine what kind of spikes he would be wearing on the 4th of July.
Oh, they'd be popping. No doubt about it.
You have some excellent shoes on tonight. 3-1, line drive over Kuroda Grauer and into the corner. Geloff over to get it. Sanoja scampers into second base with a leadoff double. That was well struck by Javier Sanoja.
Sanoja just turning on a cut fastball. Kuroda Grauer able to elevate just a tad late. That ball was by him quickly, and it was hot off the barrel. Savali set to deliver pitch number 76. I see a little dust down there in that bullpen for the Athletics. Looks like Alvarado's starting to play catch.
Strike two.
Well, I think outside of the couple big swings that the Marlins have taken with Lopez and Mack, Savali has done a nice job, even though he's dealt with some traffic. Leadoff hitter's been on in, what, 3 out of the 4 innings? Excuse me. No, 4 out of the 5.
He's looked all right tonight, I'd say. Offense hasn't had much of an answer against Sandy Alcantara.
Yeah, that's, I think, been the key to the game so far.
Line drive caught by Kurtz. Scampering back into second is Sanoha. There's one out. That's a big body over there at first base.
Yeah, he'll take up some space. But that's been a part of what Nick Kurtz has brought to the table outside of what he's done at the plate. Great defense as well. We were talking about Sevy's shoes. Kurtz, he got some gleamers on. The spikes, the socks, the lid. New Balances come correct this 4th of July.
Popped up a mile high. Losing the mask is Heim. He'll make the catch. So that's the second out. And up comes Otto Lopez, who got the best of Savali the second time facing him back in the 3rd inning with a 2-run home run, which was his 8th of the season. That made it a 3-0 game.
Yeah, was able to sneak it just over that left field wall. Here's what we're talking about. Lopez got a fastball that just started to ride in, but he was able to open up and get to it in just enough time.
Sanoha dancing off of second. That's a line drive, base hit. That'll bang up against the wall, and Sanoha comes home to score. Otto Lopez, his second hit of the game. Now 4 of his last 5 on his 5-game hitting streak have been multi-hit affairs. He has 2 extra base hits, and the Marlins lead 4-0.
Well, this curveball just stayed up enough. Really one of the only times we've seen that curveball kind of hang a bit. Been a good pitch for Savali throughout the course of his outing. It's like Marcotte going to come out and have a little chit-chat and make the call to the bullpen. That'll be it for Aaron Savali. They'll leave responsible for Lopez on second, hand the ball to Elvis Alvarado, who will see Xavier Edwards when we come back.
Reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Athletics.
That was 20 seasons ago on the 4th of July. Jay Payton's single up the middle allowed Bobby Crosby to score the winning run as the A's walked off the Detroit Tigers. Bobby Crosby went 1 for 4 with a run. Marcotte went 2 for 5 with a run in the 2-1 victory. How about that, Dallas?
We're just playing a little different brand of baseball back then. You saw Bobby Crosby come around and drop a shoulder. Very, very different these days. Elvis Alvarado in the ballgame now, just looking to take care of Xavier Edwards here to get through this 5th inning after the Lopez double and drove in Sanoha, who led the inning off with a double of his own.
Edwards shows bunt, and it was a strike. Couldn't get it down.
Well, that's the line for Savali. 4 2/3, 6 hits, 4 runs, all earned, a couple of walks, 6 strikeouts.
Excuse me, that was ball 1. Correction. Now there's a strike. It's a bit ahead of myself.
Well, with the bunt, it looked like Edwards may have offered, but they checked down to Rob Drake, who said, nope, didn't go.
For Xavier Edwards, 304 with runners in scoring position, 323 with 2 outs this year.
Well, and Chris, for Edwards, this is a guy whose platoon splits are just about dead even. Came into the ball game last night, hitting 300 against lefties, 301 against righties. He's flashed a little power from both sides of the plate. A couple of homers against righties.
A's to come up in the bottom of the 5th. McNeil, Williams, and Kurtz playing at a deficit again. Here, 12,532 fans, the 23rd sellout of the year for the A's. It has been very impressive this year, the turnout in West Sac. Hoping it stays at 4-0 Marlins here. It's up to Alvarado with a runner on second, the 2-2 fouled away. That won't do. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Slider fighting just to get back over that corner.
Payoff pitch. Fouled off.
Alvarado letting it eat. Hundo coming at you.
Three and 2 again. Up and in. Edwards walks. And now let's hear a word from your Sacramento area Chevrolet dealers.
The Chevy Silverado and the open road. And tackling whatever's on the other side. There's a lot of country out there. And the Silverado is always ready.
See your Sacramento area Chevy dealers, proud partner of the A's.
Now Griffin Conine with 2 on and 2 out. First pitch, a strike on the slider, 0-1. Conine's father Jeff played for the Miami Marlins, or really the Florida Marlins.
Pretty important Marlin, huh?
Yep. Tips it into Heim's glove. He's behind at 0-2. 1 a heck of a player for the Fish.
Yeah, I'd say, my friend. I mean, you don't get the nickname Mr. Marlin for no reason.
That's not to be confused with Marlins man.
No, I don't think there's much confusion there.
He's just traveling all around. I don't know if we could see a Mr. Marlins man appearance here in West Sac. Oh, 0-2. Conine takes low. Yeah, now thinking about that. Yeah, you're very right.
Yeah.
I don't think there's really much to compare at all.
No, I mean, think about it. You're there for some pretty big moments.
Popped out of play.
What, 97, 03? If I remember correctly, he was in Baltimore to start that 03 season, I believe.
I'll tell you, I wish the Marlins would bring back the pinstripes full time.
Oh, they are clean.
In the dirt, kept it front by Heim. He's been a wall back there tonight. Something to be said about the teal and the pinstripes.
Well, different setups, obviously.
Say so.
Big league DNA.
2-2. Chopped foul. The 2-2 pitch. Wave and a miss. Alvarado strikes out Conine. But the Marlins score another run. 4-0 Miami. It's on TikTok. Get exclusive athletics content by following us at NBC Sports Authentic. Old Town Sac, you can see some vintage Sacramento Solons gear. The Athletics trail by 4 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning. I know you ventured around Old Town Sac once or twice.
Indeed, I have.
Have you done the panning for gold yet?
Done the panning for gold.
McNeil hits that in the air to left center. They'll hang up for Conine, who drifts back and makes the catch. One is away.
Done that here in Sacramento. There's a little town, Columbia, that I went to as a child on a field trip. Get to pan for gold. Just, I mean, there's so many awesome little towns, little spots out here. Northern California, some of the foothill towns. Sutter's Fort. I had to take you over to Sutter's Fort. Pretty cool experience. When I was a child, again, going on field trips to experience Sutter's Fort.
On a hop to short. Lopez throws to first, 2 away.
They would have individuals who were, you know, just showing you what life was like back in the day. But this experience right here is something that you do when you grow up in NorCal. You float the river. And I mean, obviously this is a guided experience. but I mean, you find different spots to drop in, and you can go all day. You can go all day long. You know, typically if you're in a group, tie some of your tubes together, a raft. Water's pretty chilly. I mean, it's runoff, so you can go ahead and keep your beverages fairly cold by just tying them into their own little separate raft, making sure that the water's able to run over those. I mean, it truly is one of the greatest experiences that you can have with a group of friends, family.
2-0 to Kurtz. He sends it high in the air to left. Conine moving over and by the line. He's got it. A very quick 1-2-3 inning for Alcantara. And that will end the 5th.
Chris, Friday Night Baseball gets a championship upgrade on Friday, July 17th. Oh yeah, you're gonna be there early when we welcome the Washington Nationals, brother, to grab your very own A's championship belt bag to rock all summer long. Yeah, don't miss your chance at this exclusive hardware. You can secure your tickets right now at athletics.com/promotions.
Oh yeah. God, I love that too much. Well done. Bravo. 4-0 Marlins. Don't love that as much, but Jose Suarez going to try and keep it at that score line. 28th appearance, 1-2, 4.87 ERA. Did appear in the game last night. Gave an inning and a third of relief to follow up Jack Perkins' 3 2/3.
He was fantastic.
That was your Macho Man Randy Savage.
Well, and you gotta slim it down, because Macho Man is best when you have time, right? I mean, he's just a guy who.
So that was Diet Macho Man.
Yeah. The expedited Macho. Not ideal, but you got the idea.
I loved it. I loved every second of it. I want more of it, actually.
I think.
Give it to me now.
You might be the only one.
Well, it's Heriberto Hernandez up. And he'll hit that on a hop. Alika retreating, throws to first, and got him for the first out of the 6th.
Just a one-hop shot back up the middle. Alika a few steps to his left. Side sling over to Kurtz just in time.
Jacob Marcy is 0 for 2. He flew out, sort of, and he struck out looking. He didn't go there. Pitch outside, 2-1.
We mentioned that Suarez and the family had just welcomed a brand new baby. He took the baseball first time back. So this is how Daddy does it. Maybe that is the equivalent for a pitcher in terms of dad strength. Coming in and dialing up zeros.
We could call it Papa's precision for a pitcher.
And that's certainly an option.
You didn't like it? That's fine. I worked 7 hard seconds on that in my head, and it didn't land for you. That's fine.
Did it sound better in your head?
You know, I thought it sounded great outside of my head too. Three balls and 2 strikes to Marcy. Inside, 1 out walk.
Well, I think for Marcotte, understanding that he went and got Savali just before he was able to complete 5 innings. You go to Alvarado. Alvarado comes in the ballgame, eventually able to bring that 5th inning to an end without any further damage. Then you turn it over to Suarez, who's been good at times being able to get the baseball to some guys towards the back end of the bullpen. I think the hope is that you can figure out a way to get to Sandy on the other side, because he has been lights out. But you want to keep this game as close as you possibly can, because we know how this lineup can sneak up on you quickly. And when I say sneak up, and I'm talking about the A's lineup, not that you're not aware of what they can do damage-wise, but all of a sudden it's a knock and a walk and a big swing, and the game looks a lot different than it did.
1-1 liner to Kurtz. He'll step on the first base bag, doubling up the runner in Marcy. So Suarez faces the minimum. Back to the A's bats. Sits down with Max Muncy. From getting the ultimate call-up to navigating the highs and lows of the majors, Max breaks down the milestones and mentors that made him the player he is today. Don't miss episode 7 of Beyond the Dugout, presented by Visit Las Vegas. Streaming now at athletics.com/Beyond the Dugout. Heriberto Hernandez is now in at left. Conine bumps to right, and Geloff leads off the bottom of the 6th with the A's down 4-0. Geloff on his 20-game hitting streak at home, 367 with 5 home runs and 10 RBIs. Second longest by an A's player since 1961. Now he'll ground it softly to short. Otto Lopez loads up, throws to first, and 1 is away. Well, Alcantara is at 61 pitches. He's not going anywhere.
No, he's dealing. I mean, simply put, he has dealing. And the first inning, the toughest inning so far, 20 pitches. But you've got 3 single-digit innings worth of work under your belt. That is fantastic. On his way to another one here is Lawrence. First pitch ground ball over to Xavier Edwards for the 2nd out of the inning.
We were talking with the Marlins guys about the just lack of complete games in our game now.
Yeah.
And I think it's safe to say at 62 pitches with 2 outs in the 6th, Alcantara, if he continues this pace, he may have a complete game scenario.
Well, he's got one of them under his belt. It was his 2nd start of the season against the Pale Hose. Blanked him, CG shut piece, 7 punchies. I mean, just 3 hits allowed. That's where the A's sit right now with 3 knocks against Sandy, who has been spectacular. Yeah. Chris, not only was it a CG shut piece, but it was a Maddox. 93 pitch complete game effort from Alcantara, and I mean, he made it look about as easy as it gets. Go ahead, boys. I know I'm hot. Douse me.
Ground ball, the 65th pitch of the game will get Alcantara through the 6th, the 7-pitch inning, 4-0 Marlins. He is rolling on the 4th of July.
Home is our nonprofit partner of the ballgame. They support unhoused veterans and community members through respectful, comprehensive wraparound services. From mental health care and job training to essential daily needs, they provide the peer support needed to change lives. See how they are making every tomorrow better than today by visiting vetsjourney.com.
Well, it's 4-0 Marlins, top of the 7th inning. A new pitcher comes out for the Athletics. It's Cade Morris, 3rd appearance. Second coming out of the bullpen. We saw a shot of the gorgeous evening in West Sacramento. It is beautiful tonight on the 4th of July. The scoreline, the only thing that could use some work. Cotton candy skies. I see a bit of orange creamsicle. Some maybe wisteria purple as an ABS challenge is deployed.
Call's overturned. Or, sorry, confirmed. Miami has one left.
Dallas, if you look down deep by the Tower Bridge, there's some Rasmic berry there.
Wow.
Stroke to right. One away.
I think the A's could use a quick inning here. Maybe it's a matter of being able to get Sandy back out on the mound sooner rather than later. You limit the recovery time. I mean, he has not had to work very hard at all tonight.
He's still working through the 3rd time. I'm talking to the Marlins announcers, and they said because of the young staff and because guys are getting stretched out, kind of like Tyler Phillips, you can anticipate 2 pitchers for the Marlins consistently being given run to go deep into games. One is Sandy Alcantara. The other is the all-star this year, Max Meyer, who has been sensational for Miami.
Sure has.
Morris has the crowd behind him against Liam Hicks, the 1-2 pitch. Off the plate with a curveball.
And remember, Chris, it's still early in terms of the all-star teams and what the roster will look like when it's all said and done. You know, but something that I can appreciate is guys who might not be household names who are having great years getting the acknowledgement, knowing that compensation is attached to an extent to being labeled an all-star, right? That's something you can take with you into arbitration, with you into free agency. And so I think there's some give and take when it comes to knowing that the fans can really help impact that. But I think it's also nice when it's not just the same old household names.
Another hit for Hicks. That's a 3-hit evening.
You know, regardless of how their season is going, to just make another trip to the All-Star game. I think the young players deserve it. But you're right, Hicks, as we know, swinging a hot bat. Another knock tonight.
Stowers hitless tonight. That skips in the dirt. Backhanded by Heim. He's able to keep it in front. There are also quite a few rookies that, as you look at dirt cam, Heim collecting the baseball, that were named to all-star rosters. There were a few that were left off that, like you said, may find their way to Philadelphia with injuries and opt-outs. Kevin McGonigal has had a wonderful season for Detroit. We will see him next as the A's will head on to Detroit, Michigan to face the Tigers after the conclusion of this series tomorrow.
Well, and Dingler, you know, I mean, there's, I can fully appreciate players who deserve the acknowledgement getting the acknowledgement. That's something that has always, I think, mattered to me.
This one hit high in the air to left. Geloff retreating, still going, feeling for the wall. It is gone. Kyle Stowers, his third home run this series. It's a 2-run shot, and now the Marlins lead 6-0.
Well, Stowers hit a ball last night at 45 degrees out of the ballpark pole side. This one 43 degrees backside. And this ball up in the air. I think just the way that Geloff tracked this ball, felt like early this ball was going to have a shot to stay in the ballpark. It indeed did not. And you just see him right there. That's crazy. It's exactly what he just said.
Well, that's what visiting teams get to experience. Here in West Sacramento, we've been accustomed to it for about 2 years, seeing the ball fly. So now the A's find themselves in a 6-run deficit. I'll tell you what, Dallas, counting the game today, last 27 games, the Athletics have been outscored 180 to 141. Check swing bouncer over to first. Kurtz flips to Morris. Maybe the wind had a factor in the home run for Stowers. We know that that plays as well.
Well, this is kind of why I said what I said. I mean, you're getting the most help in the yard blowing out to left field. So you put that ball in the air, get a little bit of a push, and that's why Geloff felt like he had a beat on it initially off the bat, and then you see it just start to sail. And again, those flags, Chris, something that should be noted, those flags sit just about level, maybe a few feet above, maybe a few feet below the very top of the suite level roofs. And what happens above that? Well, wind. And so as soon as, and something I've said for the last 2 years now, as soon as that ball gets above that suite level roof, it's impacted sooner and longer than any other place in baseball.
I'm just going to talk to Cade Morris. This meeting on the mound brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Well, across the league, Dallas, the Rangers lost at home to the Tigers. Tigers won 3-0. Mariners shut out the Blue Jays at home 11-0. They don't really like to allow runs at home. When continuing to pick up in left center. Astros walked off the Rays thanks to who else but Yordan Alvarez. A walk-off home run made it a 10-8 victory. His 29th home run of the season.
Well, he hit number 28 earlier in the ball game. And Chris, something that I don't want to get used to saying here, because I think things can change quickly, is how tight that division is. Because what you're starting to see happen slowly but surely, I think, is a couple teams not only pick themselves up, but start to play a little bit better brand of baseball, and doing so a little more consistently. That's why we talk about this being a marathon and not a sprint, because you can come out of the gate hot. You can leave your opponent in the dust early. And then somehow, some way, that gap gets closed. Teams play great baseball. You start to take a stumble. Before you know it, you look up, and if you were the one that had the sizable lead, all of a sudden, objects in mirror are closer than they appear.
3-2 payoff. Morris lost him. Now let's hear word from the California Office of Traffic Safety and Caltrans.
We are human. We make mistakes. We don't see that red light, that family. But we can do better. Be alert and slow the fast down. Go safely, California.
This meeting on the mound is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. Scott Emerson, a quick conversation with Cade Morris and Jonah Heim on attacking Griffin Conine, who does have power, has bookended strikeouts in the second and the fifth, a walk in the fourth inning. He is 0 for 2 in this game where the Marlins lead 6-0. They have outscored the Athletics now 18-5 in the first game and 3 quarters, essentially. Conine ambushed, fouled it back. On this homestand, now Dallas opponents outscoring the A's 37-19. Marlins will secure a winning road trip with a win tonight, and also would have not lost in their last 5 series. Jeff McNeil throws to first, and that will retire the side. We will stay here for God Bless America in West Sacramento as the A's trail by 6 runs.
Fans, please turn your attention to the field where Shohini will be performing God Bless America. Take it away, Shohini.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, one with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
That was Shohini. Thank you.
Champions. Well, after the game tomorrow, the A's will have an off day in Detroit, then face the Tigers for 3, then on to Chicago to face the White Sox next weekend. Then the All-Star game at the beginning of the week on Tuesday the 14th, followed by the Washington Nationals coming to town for 3 games. And the All-Star game is going to be packed with talent, obviously, young talent, veteran talent. The best of the best this year will take center stage in Philadelphia. Sandy Alcantara has been fantastic. 6 shutout innings. That was his 66th pitch of the game. He faces Cortez, Bolte, and Kuroda Grauer. And the American League All-Star starting lineup is a very good one. Dallas Braden, as Cortez swings and misses. Might see Sandy Alcantara find his way onto an all-star roster.
You just see so much movement when it comes to rosters. You know, I mean, take a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., for instance. Right, leading vote getter at the first base position says, you know what? I think I owe it to my team right now to respectfully decline and see if I can't rest and recover. And I think that's something that a lot of guys have done in the past, and I think we'll continue to do. I know it's tough for fans who want to see their favorite players perform on that stage. It's a great opportunity for fans all across the world to descend upon a location and watch the game's great players. That's what your lineup looks like. Shea, Vlad, Clement, Witt Jr., Caminero.
But Vlad is not going to be at first, as you mentioned. That's the initial starting lineup. Kurtz will be the starter at first base after being the leading vote getter for the players, as Cortez gets caught looking. The AL reserves look like this. Arozarena, the rookie Travis Bazzana, Cody Bellinger, Diaz, Dingler, Riley Green. Kurtz will be a starter. Kevin McGonigal, Ben Rice, Adley Rutschman, and Miguel Vargas, who has had a wonderful year for the White Sox.
Sure has, and you know, those are a few names. Again, McGonigal, Dingler, Miguel Vargas, that I can fully appreciate getting the acknowledgement that I think is deserved. My argument has always been, how do you become a household name if you never get the initial acknowledgement that you deserve?
Weekly grounded up the third base side. Charging is Sanoja. He won't be able to glove it, and Bolte reaches safely. The American League pitchers are also very strong. Brian Baker has had a great year in Tampa. Dylan Cease in his first year as a Blue Jay. Aroldis Chapman, who is the ageless wonder out of the bullpen. Jacob Latz also great out of the bullpen. Messick, the rookie. Rasmussen, who might be the best out of all of them this year, with Joe Ryan and Cam Schlittler inserted. Cade Smith, Ranger Suarez, and a couple of others as well. Michael Wacha gets the nod. What a year he's had. And Varland as well. So Bolte does have a hit. Kuroda Grauer a hit himself back in the second inning. A's hoping to generate some offense against Alcantara. That breaking ball won't go. 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, speaking of Chapman, the ageless wonder, more punch outs than any reliever in baseball history.
Three balls and no strikes. Alcantara has only walked one hitter. That was Lawrence Butler back in the first. Jeff McNeil waits on deck. Entering play tonight has the most looks at Alcantara, 12 for 40. Now that has changed to 12 for 42, but he has 2 doubles, a home run, and 3 RBIs off of Sandy Alcantara, considering their National League East familiarity. There's that wisteria purple I was talking about. 3-2. Fouled away. Bolte was moving. The National League starters on the other side. National League stacked with talent this year. Brandon Marsh, what an incredible year for Philadelphia. We just saw Andy Paez. Juan Soto going to be a perennial all-star. Dodgers on the corners with Muncy and Freeman. C.J. Abrams gets the nod as the starting shortstop. Ozzie Albies a resurgent year with Drake Baldwin behind the plate. And who else but Shohei Ohtani as the starting designated hitter for the National League. 3-2, Bolte going again. Kuroda Grauer driving it into right center. That's going to drop down, and Bolte will move to third. Joshua Kuroda Grauer, another multi-hit effort, and the A's have him on the corners with just 1 out, and McNeil, who has a lot of familiarity against Alcantara, coming up.
We'll see if the A's can't turn a couple base runners now into something to show for on the scoreboard. Sandy has been outstanding all evening, and for the first time tonight, really having to deal with some traffic. Chris, you got to go back to the first inning for the last time the A's had multiple base runners on at the same time.
McNeil has grounded out and flied out. Best chance for the A's to put a blemish on Alcantara. This is flying to center with Bolte speed. This will be more than enough to bring home the first A's run. It will. The sacrifice fly for McNeil, and the A's are on the board 6-1. So Jeff's 26th RBI cuts the Marlin lead to 5. And now William Kempner and company start to stretch out. Wonder if he's going to let an extra button loose for the 4th of July. Alika swings and grounds it foul.
I mean, he unbuttons anymore, and he's going to be out there shirtless.
Alika has grounded out twice, once to third, once to short. He's behind at 0-2. National League reserves: Arise, Corbin Carroll, Contreras, PCA, Goodman, Harper. We got in on the Legends acknowledgement by the commissioner: Lopez, Olson, Schwarber, Stewart, Jordan Walker, and James Wood. 0-2 pitch, show wave and a miss. So Alcantara gives up a run, but only one. 6-1 Marlins through 7.
A's Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Class-leading MPG and more hybrid models than any other brand. Toyota, let's go places.
Here we go.
Sherbert nailed
Stop
it.
it.
Nailed
Stop
it. Yep.
Stop it. Safety orange in there. Behind you. Something's behind you. Was it a pitch calm, maybe?
I think it might be the earpiece. Yeah.
So 1 ball and no strikes to Heriberto Hernandez, who grounded out to short after pinch hitting in the 6th. Cade Morris back out there. It's anticipated that he will finish this game as the long reliever of choice for Mark Kotsay.
And if you're Cade Morris, that's the hope. Because that means you've done your job. You've been efficient enough to get through these innings.
So Morris winds up the 2-1 pitch, and that's tipped by Hernandez. 2-2. Marlins up 6-1. Each team has 1 challenge remaining. One more game left to play tomorrow on this homestand.
You know, I think for Cade Morris, being able to work through these types of innings, and I've said it about a few guys down there in that bullpen, but I think for Cade, who is still, learning who he is at this level.
3-2, and they walked him. Not a bad spot, but Hernandez patient, leads off the inning with a walk. Born in Modesto, went to high school, grew up in Turlock, California, the same hometown as Tyler Soderstrom. Went to UNR and was drafted by the Mets in the 3rd round of 2023. And we'll see Esteury Ruiz is the pinch runner, which is just one more thing to be concerned about after Ruiz had a delayed steal and ended up stealing a base in the 9th inning, where the Marlins added 2 more to finish off the game at 12-5.
Well, and you better believe that Ruiz still looking to pick up 90 feet, regardless of how the score looks right now. The Marlins 5-run cushion here in the 8th. A little bit bigger lead this time around. Still not going anywhere.
Ruiz has 17 stolen bases this year. He's tied with Otto Lopez for the 2nd most on the team. Only Jacob Marcy has more with 18. And now it's 3-0. And Marcy is at the plate. If you get both of those runners on, you never know what could happen with the speed on the base paths. You could see a double steal if Morris walks his 2nd straight hitter.
Yeah, the one thing that you do have going for you if you're the Athletics, should that be the case, is Mack, left-handed hitter, would leave a wide open throwing lane for Jonah Heim over to 3rd should Esty try to steal with nobody out.
Back to 1st. Hurts with the tag, but it's late. Into center, moving over is Volte. 1 down. And up comes Joe Mack. Don't seem too much activity in the bullpen for the Marlins.
No, you saw Kibner up with some weighted balls, just kind of lubing up the shoulder a bit.
Marlins will also have an off day on Monday after making a cross-country trip after the game tomorrow on July 5th. That is exclusively on Peacock, if you would like to tune in, where the Mariners and the Cleveland Guardians come to town. So even though they'll have an off day on Monday, with the way Alcantara is pitching, he has enough authority to say, I want to stay in this game. My pitch count is low. I'm getting hitters out at a very consistent rate, at a steady rate, at a conservative rate.
Well, and that's what complete games do.
On the ground, diving attempt by McNeil. Ruiz cuts the bag at 2nd. He won't test his former teammate Butler's arm. And Mack has a 2-hit evening.
Fastball that just catches middle of the plate. Mack with another good swing. Look, Chris, you think about a complete game and being able to give a bullpen an entire day off. Really, the only thing sweeter than a complete game is a complete game just ahead of an off day. Give yourself the entire bullpen 2 days off. I mean, that is money in the bank. It's a complete reset.
Mack was appealing for a balk there. but Morris didn't break any rules. Strike 2. To pitch. Sweeper away, 1-2. Well, at the very least, in a 6-1 game, this is an opportunity to see what some young guys out of the bullpen can do. Kuroda Grauer has a multi-hit effort tonight. Volte has a hit. Cortez starting to strike the ball at a more consistent rate. That's fly to right center. Butler on the move. He can't find it. He drops down, and Volte makes the catch. Ruiz breaking for third. That was odd. Maybe it was Volte calling him off at the last second, but it seemed like Butler's ball off the bat.
No, I think what you got to see is the angle that Butler is taking towards the ball. I mean, his momentum, even though Butler might have been able to stick the glove up and snare it, I mean, neither guy really in a position to be able to play through the baseball. So you were going to get a tag from Esty regardless.
Got to go through Hicks now, who's 3 for 4. 3 singles, 2 runs scored. This is a player that I think is another one who's making his case for maybe a late addition to the National League All-Star team.
No question.
There are quite a few this year, Dallas. Like you said, are deserving of the honor. I think of a number of different players all across the board. A lot of young players that have really made an impact. I mean, if Zach Geloff didn't get injured when he did, he may have had his name called.
I mean, I mentioned Zach Geloff's name very early on into the hit streak, but it was because I think we had just seen Zach Geloff really turn the corner offensively, on top of bringing to the table what he did defensively.
Jake McCarthy having a phenomenal season for Colorado. Ground ball, softly hit, rounding it McNeil. He'll throw to first, and it's a scoreless 8th for Cade Morris. Just a few more chances for the A's offense. The top of the order, down 5, coming up again against Alcantara. Game summary is brought to you by Toyota. 6-1 Marlins lead, bottom of the 8th inning. Sandy Alcantara not showing any signs of slowing. 7 innings, 7 strikeouts. Has surrendered a run off of 84 pitches. Another multi-homer effort for the Marlins. 3 tonight. Savali 4 2/3, gave up 4 earned runs. And Zach Geloff, welcome back to the fold. He had a double earlier in this game. Now the top of the order up again. And it's Kurtz against Alcantara, round 4, where Kurtz is 0 for 3 with 2 Ks. Uri Ruiz stays the game in left field.
Well, Chris, we highlighted the pitch count for Sandy. Number 88 on its way. He's been at or over 100 pitches 8 times this season.
To see how this at-bat transpires, to see if the bullpen starts getting active, if Perch reaches base as a leadoff base runner. That would be the only the second time that's happened for the A's. And he's worked it to 3-2.
Yeah, I think any base runner at this point drastically cuts down the chance for Sandy to finish the ball game.
3-2. fouled away, and those foul balls will also up the pitch count. He's now at 90 pitches.
I think you can almost see Sandy trying to work through, all right, how do I finish this at bat? I'd like to be able to be the last man standing here.
3-2 pitch. Kurtz called out on strikes in the inner half. The inside corner, he doesn't like it. And there's the out Alcantara was looking for.
And again, one of these borderline pitches. And it looks like Kurtz may have had an argument, but opting not to deploy that final challenge they have.
Geloff swings on the first pitch. This could be a quick second out if it stays playable, and Mac dropped it. For as sure-handed as Mac is, it's going to be an error on the catcher.
Well, Mac just not able to squeeze it right off the heel of the catcher's mitt. Can't reel it in with the bare hand, and what was going to be a very quick second out now extends the life of the at bat here for Zach Geloff.
One and one. Any base runner is absolutely necessary for the A's. Kurtz, like you said, had a case to challenge. If he had challenged, I think there's a possibility he's on first base as a leadoff base runner, which could change the entire complexion of Alcantara's start. Back up the middle. To his right moves Edwards, and the throw to first for the second out.
I mean, that drop foul ball there. I mean, look, the at-bat from Kurtz probably the difference, if we're being honest. I think it'd be easy to point at the at-bat for Geloff as another contributor to why Sandy probably won't be around to finish this ball game. But, I mean, look, never say never. If he's able to get Butler out of here in a few pitches.
Just depends on what Clayton McCullough decides to do with his starting pitcher. It seems like the second-year Marlins manager has pushed all the right buttons this year for a Marlins team that is on the heels of their 48th win of the season and reaching 7 games above 500. Something that the Marlins haven't experienced in quite some time for this season.
That's what the East looks like.
Atlanta did win handily tonight against their division foe, New York Mets. Butler stripes that to left, and it sinks in front of Ruiz. A 2-out single, and the inning continues. Well, now I think we have our answer, Dallas.
Butler just letting the ball travel here. Let it get deep. Able to sink it down just in front of Ruiz. Plays it off the midsection. Does keep it in front of him, but Sandy, pitch number 100 on its way.
Heim will fish that into shallow right. It's caught by the second baseman. Hung up just enough for Edwards, and that will send us to the 9th, where Miami leads by 5. Baseball is brought to you by USAA, who proudly salutes our military who made America's 250th possible. Well, the fireworks are bursting in air. And what a performance it was from Sandy Alcantara. Exactly 100 pitches, 8 innings, 6 hits, an earned run, a walk, 8 strikeouts. 70 of his 100 pitches were strikes. He had some very quick innings against an A's offense that did not have any answers against him. And for the Athletics, 3 outs left to play with to try and score 5 runs. I think they're happy to see anybody else likely in the bottom of the 9th, as Morris is back out for his 3rd inning of work against 2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it gets any easier, but it's just not Sandy Alcantara at this point.
Tyler Zuber, who pitched last night, is warming up in the bullpen. That's hit on a line into left, and Stowers isn't finished. Hits in his last 2 at-bats. He's 2 for 4 tonight.
Changeup down and away, not a terrible pitch. Stowers, just a nice job of staying on the off speed away.
Stowers had 14 some odd at bats in spring training, so not an extended spring training. As that shot past Kurtz, and now Sowers will move 2nd to 3rd. 1st to 3rd, I should say. 1st and 3rd with nobody out, and Lopez now a triple shy of the cycle.
When this ball's starting to charge in on Lopez, and just such a fabulous job at the plate. That is a great piece of hitting from Otto Lopez. Yeah, he has swung the bat very well. 5 hits on the series for Otto Lopez.
Edwards is still hitless in this series. He does have 2 walks. Tonight, 4 walks in total.
Well, if you're a guy who's in the middle of the lineup, you're probably contributing in multiple ways. For him, it's been the patience and just providing base runners. He did score in last night's ball game. Part of that big 1st inning for the Marlins. He would score 6, a couple of long balls before it was all said and done in that 1st.
Slap the other way, 7-1.
Well, it just feels like it can be a relentless attack of contact and power from this Marlins lineup. And for the folks who don't watch the Marlins closely, I think what we've seen in just these first 2 games, Chris, some pretty good indicators as to why they have been able to play the way they have played. I mean, you don't just fall backwards into the best record in baseball in any given month. In the way that they dominated in the month of June and the way that they have just continued to roll as the calendar has turned. Pretty impressive.
Conine hitless tonight. 3 straight hits to start off the 9th for the Fish. Single from Stowers, Lopez, and an RBI single from Edwards, which was his first hit of the series. That almost hit him.
Kate up over 60 pitches by the time this thing's all said and done.
You can see warming up alongside Zuber is Brixey. In the air to right. Hang up in the air for Butler. He'll make the catch for the first out. And that'll bring up Estiuri. Former Athletic is at 244 on the season. Bounced around a number of different places in his big league career. Found footing with the A's. After the A's were finished with him, he went to the Dodgers. And now is with the Marlins, and a very young and exciting team that utilizes his service as well. First pitch, broken bat, grounded to third. It kicks off the bag, and Kuroda Grauer able to recover and make the play. That is a very difficult play where Joshua Kuroda Grauer is able to get the lead runner stepping on the bag.
I mean, impressive just to be able to stay with it. You got to anticipate whether or not this ball is going to make contact with the bag. It does kind of run up the front side of third base. I mean, right off the shoulder. That's why you get in front of the baseball, kids. Great job by KG just to hang in there.
Jacob Marcy 0 for 3. First and second, 2 away. It's down low, 1 ball and no strikes. Hit in the air, shallow left, but it will spill into the seats. Did you get to spend a little bit of time with the little ones ahead of the game on 4th of July?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Fired up the barbecue. Had some burgers and dogs for lunch. Got some swimming in. I mean, it was a full day packed into really just about a half one. Good breakfast, good lunch, swim time.
On the ground, Kurtz stabs it. What a play, but he can't hold on. And every runner moves up 90 feet. Kurtz has some range to his right. It is a base hit. And out comes Scott Emerson with the bases loaded, and Joe Mack, who has left the building once tonight.
Well, because of the change in what's allowed defensively regarding alignment, first base, second base, these are no longer positions where you can kind of just anchor somebody over there and hope you get the plays made that should be made after this meeting on the mound, which is brought to you by the injury attorneys of Ashton and Price. You have to have athleticism in the infield, especially when you are moving guys around the way you're still able to do. Now, we're not talking about camping somebody out there in that rover position in shallow right field against the left-handers. But, I mean, think about where Kuroda Grauer is positioned right now, right? Kind of that hybrid in between short and third, really in that 5-5 hole. You've got Alika Williams, the shortstop, camped almost directly behind second base, but McNeil with his heels on the grass. Nick Kurtz about a step or two away from the grass as well.
Hit in the air, high in the air to left, in the lights. Geloff has it, and that will retire the side. But the Marlins add another and lead by 6. One more chance for the A's in the 4th of July with 3 outs left to play.
Hi, Xfinity, Otto Lopez, have yourself a ball game. 3 for 5 tonight, 2-run jack. We'll drive another in on a double. Otto Lopez has collected 5 hits on this series. He's still got a ball game left tomorrow. And I think a guy that is right near the top of the list when you talk about key contributors to what this Marlins approach has been. Contact guy, puts the ball in play, got a little authority to him as well. See Sandy on his way out the door after a fantastic and frankly dominant 8-inning performance. He's going to turn things over to right-hander Tyler Zuber. Be the 12th appearance of the season for Zuber.
Cortez up for a 4th time, called strike. 0-1. Single in the 4th, bookend strikeouts, and he's 1 strike away from making it a 3rd strikeout tonight. Crank to right center field. That's gonna get down and hit off the wall. Cortez a leadoff double, so a little bit of late noise for the Athletics. Another multi-hit effort for Carlos. 2 for 4 again in the 2nd game of this series.
Well, comes against a guy who's here as of late throwing the ball fairly well, and Tyler Zuber. Just a little wrinkle for Cortez that he's able to get to. Couple of hops off that right center gap.
Tay fouls it off of Max Mask.
Right off the crown.
Weekly grounded up the middle. Going to be a tough play for Lopez. Loads up, throws to first. It pushes Stowers off the bag. Cortez will come home, and Bolte into second base. So a little bit of chaos now.
Well, and start with the fact that this ball not hit terribly hard. I think with a clean throw, they probably have Bolte. Unfortunately, Stowers trying to come off the bag, but with the run on the baseball, ends up in the dugout. Bolte will move up to second. Cortez around to score.
Texas challenging the pitch.
Miami has one challenge remaining. Joe Mack thinks he's all over it. It was a close pitch.
Pretty good pitch.
And it was a strike. Entirely in the zone. We talked about this before. Late life for the A's offense. If you can get it back to the top of the order, who knows what happens. Side-winding sweeper for strike 2. But you have to rely on the young guys to make it happen. Got him. Kuroda Grauer is headed to first. Clayton McCullough has his hand up, wondering if it was a foul ball. The appeal said he didn't go around, and they're going to put the cans on it. Didn't sound like it went off the bat.
Yeah, well, it looks like it did. The handle there. Watch the handle. Light brown part of the bat.
That looked like a knuckle to me. That right knuckle, you see it differently, Dallas?
Well, look, if it's a combination of the two, feels like that has not gone the player's way.
The sound initially that I heard didn't sound like it hit the bat, at least first. Remember, clear and conclusive evidence is needed to overturn a challenge. He didn't offer, so it will be a ball unless it is deemed a foul ball.
Well, I mean, let's see if we can take just a bit of a closer look and get a peek. Again, we're going to watch the knuckle here. So if it glances off the knuckle, I mean, that right there, if you hold it right there, I mean, it feels like that could be just enough space in between the baseball and the knuckle. I mean, you can see just that tiny bit of black space or the darker area of the bat. But again, ruling on the field, hit batsman. And I feel like that just might not be enough to clearly and concisely overturn the call.
So it does stand first and second, nobody out. McNeil coming up. So Bolte will have to go back to second base on the hit by pitch. And that's what I was thinking, is it sounded different, and it was too close to overturn. So Kuroda Grauer reaches for a third time. Now McNeil is up. He does have a sacrifice fly. Has put the ball in play all 3 times. You need a little bit more too. But speed on first and second, and Jeff fouls it off. 0-1.
Well, we'll take the time to thank Malik for his services. His time here is up. He's back on the grind, back on the gridiron.
0-1, ground ball to short. Double play. What felt like maybe a late comeback arriving. A lot of wind has been taken out of the sails of the A's offense with that double play ball. They'll have to try and score 5 runs with 2 outs. Not impossible, but highly improbable.
Chip and a chair, my friend. Chip and a chair.
Just gotta believe. Marlins 1 out away from claiming the series and a winning road trip. Now they're 1 strike away from doing so. One-two pitch, and that's the ball game. A's lose 7-2. And the Marlins take the series.
Well, play of the day presented by your California Ford dealers was the dude who was dealing all night long. Sandy Alcantara was spectacular. 8 phenomenal innings from the right-hander. Was very efficient in his workload throughout the ball game. Several innings of just single-digit pitch counts. He got through 8 innings on just 100 pitches. And then Tyler Zuber came in and after just a mild amount of chaos, able to reel it back in and take game 2 and take the series here in West Sacramento for the Miami Marlins, Chris, who continue to stay hot and play great baseball.
Probables for tomorrow. Yuri Perez will take on the young Gage Jump. Exclusively on Peacock. Going to be 2 young, exciting arms. A's trying to salvage a win here again at home to end this homestand. Well, that's it from us. Happy 4th of July from my broadcast partner Dallas Braden, myself, our producer Delaire Lewis, and our director Mike Bird, the rest of our NBC Sports California crew. Stay tuned. A's Cast and NBC Sports with Towney and Saxey, presented by Toyota, starts right now.